Bon Jovi. Oh, wrong one. Wrong one.
Madam Chair. On charging, just to clarify, the announcement in the auto strategy that came out last week increased.
This is $1 million CEO is getting grilled by Canada because they make bad green investments and then they get $1 million bonuses, and then the taxpayer suffers and everybody loses money, and them and their corporations become gajillionaires. That's the context of this. We're 5 minutes into this grilling.
The government's target for us to invest up to $1.5 billion in electric vehicle charging. That is not new money. That is of our $45 billion as requested in the budget. That is the government as shareholders.
Yeah, one more preface. What else is this? I got the achievements, the 5 last hidden achievements that I need brave dancing. I need to dance while reviving an ally. I needed to defeat Stan within 25 minutes of starting the run. I needed to defeat Cartman without damaging any of his decoys. And then I have to kill 50 pooplets in one battle during the shit fight. And then use a cheesy zombie on a necro. So, we could try to do cheesy zombie. We gotta roll that card though. So, see what happens. See if we can roll it.
Saying of your $45 billion portfolio, we expect in the long term $1.5 billion of that to be in electric vehicle chargers. Previously, that target had been lower, and so they're just increasing that target from $500 million to $1.5 billion. We're a portfolio that's investing in sectors, and so government's job is to tell us where we should prioritize and how to allocate that portfolio between trade or energy or EV charging. So that's what the EV charging money is for.
No. So the question is, effectively, has this been a success as far as what you've shown in zero electric buses?
Thank you. So on fleets, just the question conflates two things. So just to be clear, we have no loans to Lion Electric or investments in them. Our loans are to the owners and operators of electric fleets, municipalities, municipal transit corporations, private bus, school bus operators, for example, so that they can accelerate their transition from diesel to non-emitting fleets. And this program has been taken up by, as I say, municipal fleet operators and school bus operators across the country. There are over 5,000 buses under procurement and will be on the road. We think it's a success. Those buses are being bought from a range of companies, many Canadian, and creating supply chain and jobs. So yes, we think the program is a success.
Thank you. Well, let me point out that in the Lion electric vehicles were pulled off the road because they were catching fire. The last thing I want to put my kids on when I send them to school is a bus that catches fire. Would you agree with that quickly?
Our job is to support fleet operators, municipal companies, and school bus operators in making their fleet choices. We're a lender to their projects, but our job is to help them accelerate fleet investment and transition.
Yes. Thank you. I noticed you did invest in a fleet operator called Highland Electric Fleets, which is based in Beverly, Massachusetts. $50 million of Canada Infrastructure Bank money went to a U.S. company this past year. So effectively, we're subsidizing a U.S. arranger at this point in time to actually buy buses for fleets potentially in Canada, potentially elsewhere.
Thank you, Mr. McLean. That concludes your time. We will continue now with Mr. McDonald.
Just reading your bio before I came here today. You have a lot of years' experience now at the Canadian Infrastructure Bank. Can you just speak to what those experiences have learned you, like the lessons learned over the years? You've been there since 2020.
I just passed my 5-year anniversary, and Frederick is, I believe, 7. So the CIB was launched. Our first employee was hired in 2018. So we're still a relatively young organization, and I think we've learned a lot along the way. I'll tell you 3 things that I think have made a big difference for us in our journey. Number 1, we have learned the power of collaborating with provinces, territories, municipalities. Infrastructure, Canada is a vast country and a sparse population, and the infrastructure needs across our country are varied. They're not the same in BC as they are in northern Quebec as they are in Northwest Territories. And so
Actually, they are.
working with
basically the same shit
local
everywhere.
owners of infrastructure, lots of the infrastructure in our country is owned by provinces, municipalities, territories, and First Nations, Métis, and Inuit governments. So that's lesson number one. I think if you look at all of our big successes, they've come when we've worked really closely with others. That also includes working really closely with federal counterparts to make sure we're aligned to the policy goals of the shareholder. I think the second thing we've learned is that in our investments, there are two reasons infrastructure projects get stalled in this country that we can help solve. There are many reasons that infrastructure projects get stalled, but two, Madam Chair, that we can really address. One is the affordability of projects. Infrastructure projects often last 50, 75, 100 years. And there's a huge upfront cost to building them, and helping to manage that and the burden of that on today's ratepayers or users of the infrastructure and helping smooth that is one way we can help. The other is in help sharing in the risk that comes with projects, because projects, oftentimes you're building something for a long-term future. You're building a port for growth in traffic now till 2050. And the world is an uncertain place and how much that traffic is going to grow. So the CIB can help share in that risk. We can provide financing that says you will pay us back as the traffic ramps up or as the demand grows. And that's the kind of financing that a typical bank, someone who isn't a crown like us with a long-term view, couldn't take. So that idea of affordability, managing the costs, and risk sharing is the lesson we've learned. So every investment, we look at it from those lenses. How can our money help manage cost and manage risk of the project? So there's two, at least, that I'll share with you.
You talked about the $50 to $55 million that you've loaned, as you would say, to the Beverly, Massachusetts Highland Electric Fleets. You also loaned $400 million to Quebec Bus Carriers Foundation, and you've loaned $15 million to Ottawa Seguin. But there's more than $1 billion that's gone out to these zero-emission buses, and I suppose some of those may include Lion Electric buses as well. The ones that definitely include Lion Electric buses, would you say that those loans are a write-off at this point in time, including the one to the U.S. company?
Madam Chair, if I may, maybe just to address the question and also address the member's question at the tail end of his last comments. To be very clear, every one of our investments are in or partly in Canada, meaning if it was a bridge between Canada and the U.S., we could invest in that. But it must be infrastructure that's in Canada, and it must be infrastructure that benefits Canadians. Now, the owners of that, the companies that deliver that, we live in a global world. There are companies that come from around the world and do business in Canada, and as Canadians, we benefit that. But our loans benefit Canadians, and Canadians only. So in the earlier question, they could not use the loan, for instance, to buy buses that would be on the roads in the U.S. They must benefit Canadians. That's the purpose of our financing is and always is.
Did a write-off?
Madam Chair, to the second part of the question, sorry, our financial statements are very clear about what are our current financial write-offs, but I can confirm that most of our investments in electric fleets continue to be viable investments, and we intend to collect.
To the president of the Canadian Infrastructure Bank, that Lion Electric went bankrupt. So any money that was going into their taxpayer money that funded the acquisition of these vehicles is effectively nil at this point in time. And I'll pivot here, if you don't mind, Mr. Corey, because there was actually an arrangement made behind the scenes with Lion Electric Vehicles, which included a bank syndication with Bank of Montreal. BMO is one of the signatories on there. Interesting there is that BMO, Bank of Montreal, has an arrangement with Export Development Corporation to make sure that they never have to suffer any losses on their loan portfolio. So effectively, it is the people of Canada underwriting bad investments that are facilitated by your organization without any oversight. Is this proper due diligence on your organization's part, or are you part of the effort to kind of work through the capital here and make sure Canadian taxpayers are always at risk in these programs?
Madam Chair, I'm not sure I fully understand the question, but I'll say this. We conduct on every loan full due diligence. Our borrowers, in the case of electric fleets, our borrowers who are the fleet operators sign on to acquiring electric buses, decarbonizing their transportation, and paying us back out of the operating savings that come in reduction in fuel use, reduction of maintenance. And so that's the due diligence we focus on and do on each and every investment.
It looks like you've written off $50 million of a loan to a U.S. entity that was going to look at doing some business in Canada. And you've written off what might be $400 million for another investment in electric vehicles in Quebec and another $15 million, and probably more of this whole fleet, zero electric buses concept that you've lent towards. The beneficiaries of this, of course, are a bunch of intermediaries, and with Lion Electric, as we've clearly shown, the beneficiaries were the insiders. Now, as one of those insiders, Andre-Lise Matteau on your board.
Madam Chair, I have... First of all, just to dispute the very premise of the question, I've never said anything. Your comments about what we have or haven't written off are not matched. So, just to be clear, those are not all projects we've written off.
Bankrupt company, you haven't written off your investment in it.
We don't have an investment in that company. I think, Madam Chair, I've been quite clear. I don't have a loan to them, so the premise of the question doesn't feel...
Loan to the people that were arranging to buy those vehicles.
We have a loan to people arranging to buy non-emitting buses and put them on the road. And by the way, this is an important point. The way our loans all work.
This guy's saying they loan to
when
the
we
public
sign a financing
service,
agreement,
and then
the agreement is that they can draw money
whatever.
as they actually make progress, as buses are on the road. Or to pick a different example, if I made
Get
a loan
what
to
they're
someone
both
doing
trying to get
broadband,
to.
they
He's
would
dancing
only,
around
I may
the
make a
fact
$100 million
that
financing agreement, they only draw money
proxy
as they
Mr.
build
Court.
the infrastructure.
What's the write-off?
Public company.
Our financial statements are very clear on what write-offs we do and don't take. I'm happy to
Fund a
provide
public
those to the
company,
committee if you
they
wish.
suggest the
I'm
public
just wondering
company
if you could
invest in
speak
Chinese
to
EVs.
the importance
EV
of
company goes
expanding the
up, belly
electrical
up,
grid, maybe
and they
tied
go, well,
into
it was a suggestion.
BC. In my own
They could do whatever they
municipality,
want.
New
We suggested
Westminster,
this company, they
the
spent the loan,
municipality actually
we
has
loaned
its
them, so now they
own
have to pay us
electrical
back
grid
with
there.
interest. Sorry that your
So maybe
investment
just speak to
didn't
the
yield
importance
anything.
of growing our electricity supply at this moment in time.
Thank you. Thank you for the question, Madam Chair. It is such a
it
critical
looks like
time
we
for us to be
loaned you
investing
money
in our
and
electricity
planned
supply,
on you
both
never succeeding in
generation,
us getting our
storage,
money
and
back
grid.
plus
And I
interest.
think for
But
two basic
yeah, it's
reasons.
exactly
One,
what we did.
electricity is the electrons are the lifeblood of a growing economy. So our investments in British Columbia, for instance, our investments in electricity are also investments in growing the critical mineral sector in the northwest, or the energy sector in the province, or the competitiveness of businesses who are manufacturers. Same as in other parts of the country, whether that's data centers or energy production. Electrons are the lifeblood of that. And the second reason is we need to grow our grid while also decarbonizing the stuff we do have and moving off, for instance, not in BC, but in other parts of the country, moving off of coal. So we've got to replace stuff. To be very simple, we've got to replace a bunch of the stuff we have and then build a bunch of new stuff. And that is what's putting a real burden on the affordability of these investments on Canadians, because all of that eventually falls on ratepayers, electricity payers in the country. So we're very focused on this. Building good transmission grids also helps that, because you can now spread out the generation, build reliability, so those interties and grid investments are also really important, and battery storage and other forms of storage also kind of form the balancing act. But those investments are core to the CIB. We recently we have passed $5 billion in investment in that space and continue forward.
Canadian Infrastructure Bank was established. Canadians were told that it would have $35 billion dispersed by fiscal 27-28. Is the bank on track to reach that target?
Madam Chair, thanks for the question. Per the most recent analysis of the PBO, we're on track to achieve $37 billion by 29-30.
Dispersed, not committed, dispersed.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Very, very, very fair question. So let me just, I talked earlier a bit about our funnel. Maybe this is I will do this just for a moment more. So if you think of our investments, we talk to projects across the country. Eventually, after identifying a project, understanding its in mandate, I promise.
But you didn't answer the question, and now you're giving a lot of preamble to, was it yes or no, are you going to meet that target? Are you going to have $35 billion dispersed by 2028?
So, quite simply, we sign contracts, we disperse money as construction happens, as I think Canadians would want us to do.
Okay, no, wait a minute.
Today,
wait a minute. Canadians were told by the government that you would have that money dispersed by 27-28. So I'm just asking if that's going to happen. If it's not, in fact, we'll take it that it will not. what are you on track to disperse by 27-28?
Thank you, Madam Chair, for the question. So as of today, to be clear, just on the question of disbursements, 18 billion in contracts signed today. We have 7 billion or so cash dispersed. So
Okay.
to the question that's been asked, cash gets dispersed as construction progresses. Every quarter, someone sends us an invoice and we disperse. We're at about $7 billion now. I don't know the forecast to 2 years out, but I can say that over the
Okay, are you
last...
familiar? Do you know what the PBO's estimation was?
I do not off the top of my head, but I...
14.9. That's what the PBO said on page
Half
1 of their
what they
report.
said in their
Is that projection higher or lower than it was in 2021?
You should thank your guides for
Are you
that.
tracking? Like, are you getting better or worse at hitting the targets that the government states publicly?
Right. So, just to be clear, the original baseline that you're comparing against is from 2017 when the CIB was launched. The idea that the disbursements would happen by 27-28.
Yeah.
We're rapidly accelerating. So, right now, we have drawing somewhere between.
Right, but you are nowhere near what was promised. Let's look at this another way now. What proportion of private sector investment to public sector investment were Canadians promised when this bank was established?
Well, again, I think, Madam Chair, the best thing for you to do is just talk about where we are.
No, the best thing to do is answer questions. Officials have to answer questions when they come to committee. So I'd like you to answer my question.
Sure. Madam Chair, thank you. Thanks for the question. The original concept of the bank is that for every dollar we invest, there will be
how it works.
3 to 4 times the amount of private capital. The important thing to note...
The fall economic statement wherein the bank was established actually said 4 to 1. And Bill Morneau in his speech on it said 5 to 1, 4 to 5 to 1, so not 3 to 1. But the next question is, what is the current proportion of private sector investment to public?
Right. Thank you, Madam Chair. So it's an interesting question. I will answer the question of the member very directly. But you have to take 2 parts of my answer, if that's okay. Part 1, today, there's $25 billion aligned against our $18 billion. So you might say that's 1.4 times to 1. The way you have to think about these investments, though, is over time. So we make an investment, and at the outset of the investment, when we make the loan, that's the ratio. Over time, as we're paid back and private capital replaces us, so on every one of our projects, over time, that ratio changes. Our forecast is that we are well on track to be at 4 to 1 over the lifetime of the loans.
But you're moving the goalposts in these answers. I'm going back to what Canadians were promised and told when this institution was established and what its projections are and what various ministers have said publicly. So would you suggest or would you agree that it is fair for Canadians to be extraordinarily skeptical about the claims the government makes about the efficacy of this bank when none of the commitments that the government made have actually unfolded over time since your bank was established?
Madam Chair, thank you.
A very brief response.
Sure. I dispute the premise of the question. What Canadians were promised is that these projects would draw in 3 to 4 times their private capital. That's what they're on track to do.
One thing that is in your mandate, and then this ties to the group that will come after, regards your commitments to working with First Nations. So if I understand correctly, there's $1.5 billion. Could you tell us how that process is going?
Sure, yes. And a really important part of the bank's growth and something we're really proud about. We've almost a third, 33 of our investments are either directly in partnership or to the benefit of Indigenous communities. We do it in 2 ways, and so, Madam Chair, maybe I'll just very briefly speak about that. One is we make what we call Indigenous community infrastructure investments, so these are smaller loans typically in community, so wastewater treatment plants, clean power to reduce reliance on diesel,
I just want to fucking dance.
roads to allow for new housing development. So these are loans directly in community to help close the infrastructure gap.
What the fuck?
The second kind of investment we're making in that 1.5, so that's part of it. The other part in the $1.5 billion is equity loans, where we have loaned money to Indigenous communities so that they can buy stakes in infrastructure projects. So this would be particularly true in
Nice
things
to
like
see
renewable power,
dancing mid-fucking
where
flight.
in
Thanks.
many parts of the country,
Hurry up and
renewable
die.
power projects are being done in partnership between wind and solar developers
Killed.
and indigenous communities. And so we've made loans to the indigenous communities so that they can buy and own a meaningful stake in those
Dead?
projects. And this is progress we're really proud of.
Fucking Zed,
Mr.
Dan-
Corey, as you know, both of us work for Canadians.
Does the AI not
taxpayers.
pick up on the fact?
Could you kindly
They don't pick up on the
share
fact we're
with,
trying to fuck
with
with me?
Canadians what your
Yeah, thanks, I guess,
compensation is?
guys. Thanks. I could have had you say it there twice.
transparent
but no,
question.
no, really,
Sorry, go
thanks,
ahead.
though.
Thank you.
My phone. Go ahead.
Make sure that our phones are on silent, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Madam
it's
Chair.
not fucking funny. Like, how do you come in the House of Commons
Compensation
after
at the CIB
hundreds
is
of years
published
ago?
annually
my
in
phone's
our
on.
annual report. All of our executive compensation is published. We're very transparent, and so the member, I'm happy to share afterwards with the member all of our
Here's the Law and
compensation.
Order.
if
Oops,
so
I'm a
desired.
retard. I can't remember to shut my phone
How much
off.
did you
Everybody
get
depends on
compensated
me to
last
fucking
year in the
make
last
the
fiscal
rules
year?
in society.
Base salary and
Fucking shut my own fucking phone off.
My compensation is open and transparent, and it's published on the internet.
Just the number, if you could. It is a public number, a public information. I have the number, but I'd like you to just share with us.
My compensation is set by our board every year. They
No, just the
benchmark
number,
against the
please.
public markets, and they pay me well in range of what CEOs are paid in other parts of the world.
Okay. Mr. Corey, could you share with Canadians what your compensation is?
Ow!
Madam Chair, thank you for the question. As said, my compensation is public. It's
Mr.
benchmarked
Corey.
every year by our board and set.
Mr.
And I
Corey,
agree, I work for taxpayers and I work...
I'm sorry, I have to ask you, why are you
Good
refusing to
choice.
share your compensation? It is
Go
taxpayers'
for it.
money that contributes to your compensation. They deserve to know, so can you please share with them?
My compensation is a matter of public record, and I take my
Okay,
duty
Mr.
as a
Corey,
worker
your
for taxpayers seriously.
compensation is in the range of $553,000 and $651,000, and you are entitled to an incentive, a bonus, of 50% of your base. So you could be
$750,000 a
making
year.
around
Almost
$1
$1
million.
But
Could you
after
justify that?
taxes,
What
closer to-
metric
you're still getting a full
justifies that
500K
level
a year.
of
That's fucking
compensation for someone who is working in the public sector?
Yeah, really.
Thank you for the question, Madam Chair. I am, as the questioner points out, as the member points out, I've worked in public service both at the provincial and federal level for about a dozen years, and I take it really seriously and with pride. I think the work that the CIB
Worked
is
for 12
doing
years and he's
does
making
deliver
500K? What the
value to
fuck?
Canadians.
Look me
I
up.
think what we're doing is blending between private
Working for
finance
15
and public
and I
interest
make,
in a way that's unique, and so I think the
40,000.
benefit to Canadians is very clear.
Mr. Corey, sorry, I'm asking about the compensation and how to justify it. As you know, we have an affordability crisis. I find it unjustifiable to have a compensation, for someone to have a compensation of close to $1 million. And I am asking you to justify that for
Yeah, with all his write-offs and shit, he's a little
particularly
rat. He
during
probably
this
definitely-
time.
He definitely makes 750 plus a year.
I thank you for the question, Madam Chair. I think for all compensation,
this guy's legit
it's
pays all his taxes.
based on
It's fucking
markets
probably
and
some
competitive
tax write-offs,
benchmarking. My
some
board
tax
does that each
back,
year and provides a
top of whatever
compensation,
other fucking
recommends to the,
deals
actually, I should say recommends to the government, which then
by
sets through an
China,
OIC
fuck
my
Canada.
compensation range. And I think that's a transparent and fair system to compensate people, not just me, but all people, in a way that's somewhat linked to the market, but also recognizes that we're doing public service.
Okay, so you think it's justified for you to be getting paid up to $1 million?
Thank you for the question, Madam Chair. I
Everything
think that my
sucks.
compensation
You're getting paid $1
reflects
million for everything
my
that
work experience and the market and the competitive environment that we work
Should
in, but it
reflect
also reflects that
public
we work in
fucking
public service.
comfortability.
And so it is well under what
Public
CEOs
service
of...
sucks ass.
Okay, Mr.
Seen that
Corey,
videos of like
I think
it looks like England.
I
It's
don't
also
think
fucked up
Canadians
how
will buy
England has,
that.
like, hordes of people, like,
Madam Chair,
can't even get
I
on,
will share
on
my
the bus.
time with
If you work like if you're,
McLean.
you're trying to get up that world, like up in the world,
You
have
have
to take the
about
bus to get
45
to work.
seconds.
Okay.
It's fucking or go to
back to
school.
order.
It's-
Règlement,
it's-
Madame la Présidente.
It's ridiculous.
Point of order,
Packed
Madam
like fucking
Chair.
sardines.
Yes, Mr.
Might not
Gabon.
even catch the first bus in. 'cause
I
it's just-
apologize
fucking nightmare
for
lineup.
interrupting my Conservative colleagues, but refusal to answer a question when the witness knows the answer is a violation of a parliamentary privilege. I understand that the witness can answer as he wishes, but this is someone being paid with public money and is refusing to answer a parliamentarian's question when he knows the answer? Is it not a breach of our parliamentary privilege to show such contempt for a member of parliament? Thank you, Mr. Garon.
Get him, Mr. Garon. Get
For
him.
that point of order, I will take a moment to confer with the clerk.
So just going to the rules here, witnesses must answer all questions put to them. A witness may object to a question asked by an individual committee member. So, you know, it's really, there was a response, even if it was unsatisfactory to the members. Thank you for that. We will continue with Mr. McLean for 45 seconds.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Corey. Back where we were.
Okay. Kill the shit.
The issue we have here is that your organization acts as a more or less facilitator for insiders to make a lot of money, including Marc-Andre Bedard, who made $33 million by extracting his shares out of Lion Electric, while the government, through strategic investment funds and your organization, were pumping money into the organization, more or less lifting it up, and therefore, no business case whatsoever at that point in time. People made money, people on the inside made money, including people that were on your board. Do you have any due diligence that looks after these things, any conflict of interest procedures that you need to look at?
That concludes your time. Thank you, Mr. McLean.
Oh shit. The big poop. As long as we keep moving, we're good. I danced. Is that not enough dancing? Be like a real dancer.
Welcome to The Fighter with Chris Sims. I am Chris
Sims.
Sims.
Crazy. I do a murder dance.
For the Taxpayers Federation. And oh my goodness, if we ever have a big show for you, we've actually got breaking news, okay? As of right now, tape time on Parliament Hill, we have a member of Parliament.
There we go.
Conservative
Now
member
we're
of
Dance on the Grave.
Parliament
It's
from
one of the
New
5.
Brunswick,
We have 4 more
refusing
secrets
his
to do.
pay hike.
One of
Now,
them
you might be
is,
thinking,
speaking of
well,
to
he's
do,
just one guy, what does it matter?
kill these
Oh my
dudes.
goodness, this matters, okay? If you get one member of Parliament standing up and saying, you know what, I'm a backbencher.
More poops, bro. I'm not scared. I ain't never scared.
$100,000 a year. But you know what? I remember
help
what it's
Rez.
like
Yes,
to be
bro,
a working
yes.
man or a working woman. I was a drywaller, for example. I'm going to represent the men and women of my riding, and I'm going to say no. No thanks. I don't need an automatic $10,000 pay raise coming up on April 1st. When you get one
Boys, how are you doing like that?
all the other MPs start looking around within that caucus and within the other
Hey,
caucuses.
let go of the fucking package.
I mean, Democrats, you're just gonna sit here and let a conservative member of Parliament be the only one saying, I don't need a huge pay hike? You're the party of the
I don't have
working man and
allies.
woman,
It doesn't
right?
matter what
You're
I
standing up
elevate.
to the little guy. Now's your chance, brothers and sisters. Stand right up right now and say, you know what? I am going to be like Mike Dawson. Mike Dawson, a member of Parliament from New Brunswick. The guy saying no. So, it's a really big deal, okay? Send an official letter on his Parliament Hill stationery to the clerk, okay, of the House of Commons. Now, that sounds boring, but it's really important. Because the clerk
Jesus,
is kind of
got
like,
afterlife. There
they're
we
like
go.
the administrator, okay, of the House of Commons. They know where all the money is going and the stuff's happening and where all the addresses of the offices are, all that stuff.
Oh shit.
Okay? So to have a member of Parliament directly and formally inform the clerk of the House of Commons, I'm not taking
It has
this
to be a
pay
dance, like a
increase
Snoopy, whatever
because I
dance.
think it's wrong, and I was elected to represent the men and women of my riding. Okay, and they're all struggling right now.
I'm on
so
normal
to say
mode.
no to my pay increase, that's huge. Okay,
They actually
this
just
isn't
bring
just
it to
kind
you.
of sort of saying you're going to go on Twitter and maybe
This is
donate
my
it to
bus.
charity at some point. No.
Thanks, Kenny.
This is way further. Okay, and this is where you come in, folks. Before we get to our very excited and very special guest, Franco.
Allies are dying again.
Do us a favor right now. Do us a couple favors.
Shit,
First,
so-
like this video,
he's doing
please,
the
when you see
bean
it online,
bullshit.
okay? Like it, because that helps the
Oh, yeah,
algorithm.
right.
Share it right away with people who need to know, because this is how you get a grassroots prairie fire going, okay? And 3, email and phone Mike Dawson. I promise you, he's getting some gears right now. okay, from within his own caucus, because I'm sure there's a few members of parliament that are like, hey, who doesn't want an extra 10 grand? You know, who am I? It's an automatic pay increase. I got other things.
How have I not
It's
killed
the committee or
50 yet?
whatever.
He killed 100.
He's getting some gears right now, okay? And we want him to feel the support of the taxpayer army, okay? We want him to feel the support of everyday working Canadians saying, yes, this is a good thing to do. Now, I can hear some viewers right now saying, who cares? It's, you know, one MP and, you know, $10,000 is a really big deal compared to the whole
Is that
budget.
ting-ting like them
No,
dying or what?
okay? This is
Sounds
about
weird.
principle, it's about leadership, and it's about a culture change.
Did I like get the achievement
So
and not
you
see
can
it
get
because I was busy enough?
one MP, and then 2 MPs, and then a dozen MPs, all saying no to this pay hike. That's how beautiful
Christ,
things
my
happen,
boy.
my friends. That is how you see rollbacks on the bureaucracy.
Okay.
That is where you see big spending cuts. That's
This
where you
fucker.
see them saying, you know what? Government doesn't need to be blowing money on gender rights in Vietnam
God.
anymore. Government doesn't need to spend $100,000 documenting the likely times in a grocery cart. This is nonsense. It is nonsense. So let's all stop our member of parliament pay hikes. And that then comes down to the bureaucracy within that ecosystem, that terrarium that is Ottawa, that is the capital. Then you get momentum going, okay? You get that fiscal prudence mindset seeping back in. You get journalists asking about it on Parliament Hill. It becomes a cool thing to stand up for taxpayers and to say no to a pay hike. So good on Mike Dawson, Member of Parliament, New Brunswick. He's the first one we've seen, as of tape time, stand up and say, no Member of Parliament pay increase. Okay, so what's happening right now, and most importantly, how do we make this catch on? Let's find out. Joining me now is Federal Director for the Canadian Taxpayers Federation and my good friend Franco Terrazzano. Franco, it is breaking news right now. This is such a big deal. We've got a member of Parliament saying no to this pay hike. First impressions?
I mean, what a hero. Conservative MP Mike Dawson from New Brunswick, an absolute hero. He just wrote to the House of Commons instructing the government that he wants to reject the upcoming April 1 Member of Parliament pay raise. And remember, folks, like every year, these politicians pad their pockets with higher pay. Every year on April 1, they give themselves a pay raise. And this year, we've got the Conservative Member of Parliament, Mike Dawson from New Brunswick, saying enough is enough, you know, proving that he is a true champion for taxpayers by rejecting the upcoming politician pay raise. And look, folks, like, this is such a big step. This is such a courageous act from Mike Dawson. And, you know, he might be alone on this issue as of right yet while we're talking in the House of Commons. But, folks, we have to show him that thousands and thousands of Canadians are standing with him, and we applaud his leadership to reject the upcoming pay raise.
Yeah, that's a really big point. As we're recording this, it's the middle of question period. They've got a big caucus meeting on Wednesday mornings. That's always very freewheeling, okay? MPs come up to the microphone and they say what they think to their colleagues. This is a really big deal. And this was nothing to sneeze at, right? This was a big pay hike that this member of parliament is saying no to.
Yeah, so this pay raise, so April 1, every year MPs give themselves a raise, right? Every April 1, all MPs take a raise, all of the parties, right? So this year's raise, we estimate would range between an extra $8,800 all the way up to an extra $17,600, right? So a massive raise. So after the April 1 pay raise, folks, let me just tell you what their salaries are going to be. Okay, a backbench member of parliament, their salary will be about $218,000. A minister will be collecting around $322,000, and the Prime Minister Mark Carney, his salary after the April 1 pay raise will jump up to about $437,000. Absolutely gross.
That is such a crazy pay hike. Now, can you describe for us, we're hearing some people saying, oh, well, it's not my fault, it's not in my power, we have to take the automatic pay raise. What are we to do? Can you get into that a little bit, Franco?
Yeah, I mean, look, stopping a pay raise is not supposed to be rocket science, right? Like, if MPs don't know how to stop a pay raise, they don't deserve a pay raise, right? Like, let's be so for real, okay? So number one, first of all, this has happened in the past where MPs have stopped the pay raise, right? Under the Harper government, between 2010 and 2013, they stopped the automatic pay raises. So We've seen it in the past. We've seen it done before. But let's actually talk tactics, how this would happen, okay? So first of all, if you're in the governing Liberals, just pass legislation and the pay raise.
25
very
minutes
simple.
studying your
Very simple.
So
If you're an opposition member of parliament, you know, conservative, bloc, NDP, I think there's a green still there, right? You should be campaigning on this every single day and putting pressure on the government to make sure that this pay raise doesn't happen. Every single day in the House of Commons, you should be calling out the government. Every single day, you should be tweeting about it on social media, even holding press conferences saying enough is enough. Politicians should not be taking more money from taxpayers. So anyone out there who thinks they're the smart guy, right, pretending like, oh, they can't do it, come on. This isn't rocket science, A. B, this has been done before between 2010 and 2013 where they stopped the automatic pay raises. And C, all MPs should be pressuring the government every single day to do what's right and to stop the raises.
Couple of things. A, they are legislatures, which means lawmakers, okay? They're the rule makers. They're the ones that can go in and change the rules, okay? B, they're a member of parliament. Parley, to talk. So better start talking, better say that you don't want this pay hike. And also, just how the sausage is made on Parliament Hill, there are entire departments responsible for this. So it was really interesting to see this member of parliament address his letter to the clerk, okay? That's basically the administrator of the House of Commons. It's how things work on Parliament Hill. Also, you could go to the Treasury and say, you know what? I don't want this taken out of the Treasury and given into my account. Put a stop to this. Like, there's all sorts of levers that these members of Parliament could be pulling right now in order to take this kind of leadership, right?
Oh, I mean, look, like I said, this is not rocket science.
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
it's
Stopping
easy
a
to
pay
complete
raise?
during a battle. It's
Like
not
what?
easy to
This is the
complete
heart.
fully.
Like, they're not curing cancer here. They're just simply not padding their
that shit
pockets
for
with more
so
of taxpayers' money. Okay, and also too, I've heard some MPs also say, "Oh, don't worry, we'll get the raise and then we'll donate to charity." Okay, well, number one, you're even a backbench MP. Their salary is about $210,000. They can donate to local charities in their communities without taking more money
Backbench
from
MP?
taxpayers.
Holy
Okay?
fuck, how
The
do I
second thing,
apply?
folks, is even
Holy
if they
shit,
were to
I'll show up
donate
to
that money
Parliament every
to charity,
goddamn day.
by taking the member of parliament
Holy
pay
fuck.
raise,
Got weapons here.
they will get higher pension payouts in
Oh
retirement.
yeah, you get pension too. Fuck.
Okay?
May your powers
That's an
serve you
important
well.
thing to remember. But here, fundamentally, there's two other things. Let's talk about the first one. Give it some time to breathe. We'll go into the second one.
Okay.
The first point is that
Oh,
in a
watch out, those
democracy,
gays.
Canadians are supposed to be the
Close
boss.
there.
And when the boss says no pay raise,
nice.
that should mean no pay raise. Well, every single year we put out polling from Leger, a reputable national polling firm, that shows about 80% of Canadians oppose the MP pay raise every single year. So every single year the boss says no,
Love
and then
that
members of
energy.
parliament,
Thanks.
your elected representative, ignores what you say and stuffs their pocket with higher pay anyways.
Yeah, that's a huge one. I gotta say, there is
We
in
need
his
open
letter,
shits and get
okay,
blast
I'm
through
gonna
this.
see if I can actually
This
pull
will
it
help
up
us
here.
blast
So I want to
through
actually
this.
read out exactly what he said
Yeah.
here. It's when
yeah,
he
this is
talks
good.
about representing
That's
working
right.
men and women of his riding.
And some pluses to
It
our
really
ranged
got me
weapons.
because he talked about
Is
being
that all?
a drywaller.
Oh yeah,
And
that's good.
My brother's a
Laser
drywaller.
swords.
You know
Time
him.
loop
You've met
thingy.
him. Works
Exact time.
Yeah, real beauty.
Elusive shadow.
He works there in Ottawa
Whatever.
downtown, drives back home to Armpire every day, gets up at 3 in the morning every single friggin' day. Just to be able to make rent, okay, for his family.
Okay, the keeper
to
of rules
have
said that
this
Stan
member of
completed some
parliament
kind of test
remember
to get
what
that
that's
axe.
like,
So all you got to do is do the same
and say, you
test
know
of
what?
strength, and you should be able to kick
I'm
his
good.
ass.
200 grand a year for a backbench MP, that's good. I don't
On
need
this
to
sacred
dip into this
battlefield,
trough
the
anymore.
motherfucker
I
lit the
don't need to
sacred
take
signal
this pay
pipe. Your
raise
death
anymore.
begins at the
Just
Soda Sofa, home of
bravo.
the defeated Kenny.
Absolute
Stan
kudos.
used the sacred flame
Bravo.
to light the beacon.
I
You
really
need to
Probably
do the
makes
same. You
twice.
that other
He makes,
things
yeah, he makes as
caucus
much as a
follow suit, okay?
yeah, probably
And
twice
just
the
a
average of
note,
a company
I
income.
really hope that he doesn't get any chirping.
Almost 3 times.
If he gets any chirping,
Hey,
this
how's
is
he
just
gonna
a
get
note,
chirped for
folks.
that?
Everybody watching this, you staffers, if he gets any
All you
chirping
need
in
to do is
caucus,
find a torch and
we're
light
gonna
the-
find out about
Oh,
it.
you're lighting
And
your
guess
body
what?
on fire.
The
Well,
tax
that's
fighter
one way to do it,
army,
I guess.
we want to
Using
know
your body as a
because
healing torch.
we want members of
That's
parliament
right.
from all parties to be leaders like this and to actually stand up for their
All right, show
constituents. So you don't got
Look at
nothing
that,
nice
the
to
fire
say.
doesn't even hurt you.
Better keep your mouth
Spacecraft.
shut on this.
Okay, run over to the marsh water
Amen,
torches and
sister.
light them up.
I love it. I love it, Chris. You said it so well. I mean, look, I love the leadership
Okay, you got
angle.
the torches lit.
It
We
really
need to hit
matters.
those main beacons.
But also, too, there's a real policy implication of this.
Yep.
Okay?
Okay,
Because here's the
beacon lit.
thing.
How many do
when
we need?
MPs have their
all
pockets
of
with
them.
higher pay every
Every
year,
single one, my
the
lord.
bureaucrats demand the same taxpayer treatment. And this isn't theoretical. We got our hands on demands from government union bosses before they went on strike, I believe it was in 2023. And those government union bosses
Oh,
pointed
what the fuck is
to the
that? I'm
annual
trying to get the
salaries
speed
and
achievement
salary increases that
somehow
MPs
get
give
knocked
themselves
up
every single
across
year
the map.
as a reason why
Bro,
the bureaucrats
get fucked.
should
What
take
how
more
the
money
fuck did I do
from
that?
taxpayers. Okay, so when politicians
what are
have
the
their
chances?
pockets with
I
higher
ran
pay,
this,
the
like, this is like
bureaucrats
the fifth
also
time I've
demand
run
more
this
money
map.
from Canadian taxpayers.
never
and it is
fucking-
the bureaucracy that is soaking Canadian taxpayers.
Got
right?
launched.
The federal government added
What
100,000
the
bureaucrats
fuck,
in the last
bro?
10 years. The cost of bureaucracy went up
cheese factory,
80%
bro.
in 10 years. Meanwhile, services are horrendous. Okay?
One closer, keep going.
So
They
look,
are.
it's not just leadership is important, but it's not just about leadership.
go up here again?
MPs need to stop stuffing their pockets with higher pay so that they have the moral authority to force the bureaucrats to take a cut. And oh boy, do the bureaucrats need to take a cut.
Yeah, we got about 100,000 extra of them, and their costs have gone crazy pants, way up. I just heard you on a podcast pointing out, what is it, 80%? Is it the cost?
80% in 10 years. Gross.
That is so gross. Speaking of over 10 years, I wanted to point this out, not to pick a sore spot, but correct me if I'm wrong, but all during the lockdown, right? When people were losing their jobs, when industries are being shut down, really bad times.
You got another beacon.
Yep.
Nice.
MPs kept on taking those pay hikes, didn't they?
Every single year they took a raise. Every single year they took thousands of dollars more. Okay,
Thank
the
Christ, one more beacon
pandemic
lit.
didn't stop them from taking a pay raise. Lockdowns didn't stop them from taking a pay raise. 40-year high inflation didn't stop them from taking a pay raise. A housing crisis didn't stop them from taking a pay raise. A potential tariff war, trade dispute didn't stop them from taking a pay raise. And folks,
Fuck
only
off.
a couple months ago, Prime Minister Mark Carney told you to brace for sacrifices.
All the beacons are lit.
And oddly,
The test of
in
strength
a
is
couple
now
months from
complete.
now,
You've done well.
these
Head for the
politicians
chamber of
are
fragrant
getting
mystery.
ready to give themselves another raise.
Gross. I will point out that during the lockdowns, correct me if I'm wrong here, man,
That was hot
but
stuff, you kid.
New Zealand.
Yeah.
Remember New
Right,
Zealand
'cause
during the
you
lockdowns?
just
Yeah,
blasted
they
all the
cut
tests
it.
without
Big one.
searching for it.
Jacinda Ardern, I think it was around like 20%
Something good.
that they announced. Yeah, it was a big one.
Yeah, lots of us took pay
Fucking hell
cuts,
to get
okay,
across
let
the
alone
map.
pay
Phoenix, hey,
raises,
come on.
all right? And to see finally, if you can tell we're ecstatic, that's because it's true, okay?
So next one,
Franco,
Jimbo Net. I
you
feel
and
it's
your
a
team,
Jimbo
especially
Net.
there in Ottawa, you have been hammering this
Yeah,
home every
easy
single
peasy.
year.
We got this.
And to
We know
your
what we're
point
doing
that you
here.
said on the
Ready for
podcast, you know,
another
Bueller, like there's been no
Use
takers.
this, such as far as
We are so relieved
I own
to
it.
see
Cool, get the
Mike
PPP
Dawson,
okay.
member of
Let me
Parliament
get the PPP
from the
then.
Maritimes.
Bye.
New Brunswick.
Love it.
He can tell you
To
what
see
to
him
do.
stand up and do this.
This isn't gonna
okay,
do anything for us,
let's
so
get
let's
into
just
future
say fuck it.
speculation. Are we hopeful? The royal we? Are we hopeful that there will be another few MPs? I wish everybody would. Other
Yeah,
MPs
I mean,
stand up and say no?
I hope so, and I hope it happens fast, folks.
Yeah.
And let's talk about what we have to do as, you know, Canadian citizens, Canadian
coming
taxpayers,
along.
trying to push Ottawa in the right direction, folks. So right
I
now,
have
like,
no-
if you have some time,
I'm trying to
folks, like,
fart, I
seriously,
don't
send
have
an email,
farts
give him a
to
call,
do.
Mike Dawson from New Brunswick, a Conservative member of
Come on,
Parliament,
someone's gotta
and
come
just
fight
say,
me.
like, look,
What's the
man,
fucking
thank you
way
so
up
much for
here?
what you did. We've got your back. It's so important right now because, look, I don't know what's going on in the back
Oh,
rooms.
no, now we
Obviously,
face
like,
an
I'm
army
not privy to
personally
that,
trained by
but I
butters.
bet you a couple of those politicians who want to pad their pockets with higher pay are pretty upset with him. You know, I don't know what's going on, but I can imagine some of them might be giving him some grief right now. And folks, it's so important for us immediately to show Dawson that thousands and thousands of Canadians
Hey,
are
player
standing
one.
with him
Yes,
and
yes, we all know
appreciate
you're
his
great at
leadership.
farting.
Because what he is doing does take courage, right? To be the person who says, look, we shouldn't be getting a raise. You know what I mean? So that takes courage. The next thing that we got to do is I think we got to push the leaders of the political parties, right? I think that's where we got to go next. Get them to show leadership to say we're all going to oppose it. And we have to create that pressure to force the government to stop these pay raises. So I think that's kind of where we have to go next in this fight.
Folks, you can just go, it's
If I was
free,
there, I wouldn't
okay,
let
to
myself
phone
get
and
my ass
email
kicked
your
by
member
some
of
gay
parliament.
lords
It is
holding up
free
little pieces
even
of
to
metal.
drop a
I mean,
letter
that's
in the
just-
mail.
that's just me.
Seriously, if you want to write a handwritten note and send it to Parliament Hill, you don't even need to put a stamp on it, okay? And to Franco's point, okay, I have worked in those halls, okay? I've answered those phones. It's going to be dicey for this MP for a little while, okay? He's going to be getting a bit of stink eye. He's going to be getting a bit of a runaround, okay? make sure that you call that office, you email that office, Mike Dawson. Okay, look it up on parl.gc.ca. Tell them, hey man, this is how I'm struggling, this is how much money I make. Good for you. Thank you for not taking this pay hike, because if you get that inbox filled,
gonna make this grown man cry for the next week. He's gonna get a bunch of emails saying, "Hey, I make fuck all, and I'm so glad. I'm so proud of you, sir. For not taking a pay raise after making almost $300,000 a year."
Okay, we have to keep the pressure up. You go on social media, have Mike Dawson's back, push your member of parliament, right? Push the leaders of all the political parties. Say enough is enough. Like, we gotta share this. We gotta keep building on the momentum. Clear momentum. Let's get a big victory on this, because again, folks, at the end of the day, we gotta push these politicians to stop patting their pockets with higher pay, and we gotta push the bureaucracy then to also take a cut.
Thank you so much, Franco.
Yeah,
and folks,
right.
at this point, also to build on it, this isn't just about the money, okay? This isn't just about the thousands of dollars that this MP is saying no to. And thank you so much, Franco, for joining us today. This isn't just about the money for this one MP, okay? This is about principle, okay? This is indicative of a behavior and a culture of entitlement on Parliament Hill in Ottawa. If we can get a critical mass of members of Parliament, okay, saying, you know what, enough is enough. I don't need this pay increase.
Come on, my little minions.
Okay? I'm saying no to this. I'm going to the clerk. I'm going to the treasury. I'm speaking to the media. I'm going online. I'm saying no to this pay increase. That is a shift in the culture in Ottawa, okay? And that will send a strong message to the government, to the bureaucracy, to the Privy Council, okay? That entire ecosystem that's in Ottawa of time to stop this, time to stop the energy train, time to show leadership. And then you get compounding savings. It's not just the, $10,000 or whatever for this one MP. Hopefully it's those tens of thousands of dollars for all the MPs saying no to the pay increase. And then that has a beautiful ripple effect, okay? I promise you it does. It changes the culture in our capitals when this stuff happens. So,
oh yeah, right. I'm trying to. I spammed E,
Go
and then they
to the
let them
website.
fucking
It's
throw their shit at me before it
parl.gc.ca.
fucking work.
Click on MP.
So, like, do I have a
find
delay
Mike
when I
Dawson,
land?
Send him a note, okay? That's number one. And two,
Epic bullshit.
you're hearing this breaking news right now on Juno News, okay? Juno News is independent journalism. It is not funded by the government. That's why the Taxpayers Federation, we have our own show here. It's so we can muster the troops and bring up things like the tax fighter army, okay? Because this is direct grassroots democracy. So thank you so much to Juno News for broadcasting this clarion call, okay? And this call out to you. Now is the time, tax fighter army. Now is the time to email and phone your MP and saying, hey, be like Mike. Refuse the hike.
Like Michael Jackson, like Michael Jordan, or like Lil Bow Wow. Wait, who was like Mike? That wasn't Lil Bow Wow. Was it Lil Bow Wow? Shit, I forgot about Boy.
You scratch my back up.
All during the lockdowns, the automatic pay raises went through, and politicians never missed a pay hike through that whole time. And now, finally having an MP stand up and say, no, this is enough. It's not right for me to take this, especially with my constituents hurting. It really matters. Joining me now is Mike Dawson. He is Member of Parliament for Miramichi, Grand Lake. Sir, I know you just got off the plane, and you're back in your riding now. Thank you for giving us time. How's it going?
I need this, but there's no necros in this game, so it doesn't matter. It's not. I can't get the
Well, Canada's in difficult times right now with the cost of living, the way the economy's going. People are doing
Act 4 or 5.
having a hard time right now.
Dead
So
enemies to kill
it's, I don't think it's time for MPs to be taking a pay raise right now.
And you were looking at a pretty big pay raise. It was around like close to $10,000, wasn't it?
Stan's gonna be sorry he ever
I think it's going to work out to be about 8,800 in that range.
Okay. I read your letter that you wrote to the clerk, and it really touched me because you mentioned being a drywaller and what it's like being a working man in Canada, and remembering working women too. My brother's a drywaller. He's up at about 3:30 every morning. Trying to get to work to make rent. And thank you for speaking up for working people. Is that what really got you to say, no, I don't need this pay raise right now?
I said when I was going to run provincially and federally, that I wouldn't forget where I come from, and I haven't. I have more respect for the tradespeople and the people that work in the, I don't know, I don't want to say the middle class people that get up every morning, put their boots on, go to work, pay their taxes, and work hard for a living to keep the country going. I respect them a lot more than I do the people that are wearing suits every day.
I gotta ask you, what have you been hearing from your constituents? Because I know our email inbox has been blowing up. People are so happy that you're taking this stand. What have you been hearing?
My office in Ottawa today, when I left my office, they were at about 8,000 emails that come in. They've been logging and tracking all the emails, trying to put them in separate folders after they come in, trying to clear my emails so that any emails that aren't about this topic, that we can get to the constituents of people who are concerned.
Stop fucking running.
On my personal phone, Messenger, text messages.
I don't know how many minutes
I have
we're in. I
thousands
haven't
of
checked the
messages on there
time.
from people, constituents. It's, it's actually, it's unbelievable how many people reached out so far.
And does that help? I know that, how do I put this nicely? A parade didn't suddenly start behind you of other members of parliament also saying that they were going to refuse their raises. So I know it can feel a little lonely sometimes in Ottawa, but did those thousands of emails and messages help?
I think they help a little bit. For me, it don't matter to me if the parade's behind me or not. I didn't do it to try to. I'd like to see others do it, but I didn't do it to try to, for publicity, or to try to start a trend that people were going to start donating money back, giving their raises back. I did it because it was the right thing to do for me, and I just thought it was the right thing to do. I don't have the fanciest suit in Ottawa. I don't have the fanciest shoes, and I don't want them either. It's one of those things that I know where I come from. I know how I started when I get out of high school, and I'm not going to forget that. The problem I have with this is the Stellantis workers have to pay, or the workers to the auto workers, not just Stellantis, but the auto workers in Ontario right now are going to be taxed on their severance packages. The tax on those severance packages are going back to the MPs in a roundabout way. So, for a lot of these MPs that are getting the money, it's beer money for them. At the end of the day, by the time they get taxed in the tax bracket they're in, $8,000 gets taxed, they're getting about $4,000. Works out to be about $70 a week. So, it's just...
That's fuck off.
It's just what it is, what it is.
$70 a week for any fucking average person.
Taking it. If I can't give it back, I haven't got word back yet. If I can't give it back, then I'll donate it to the food banks, or I'll figure something out how I'm going to donate the money that's coming.
You want to donate to the food banks?
You know, you should be able to.
Food banks are fleeced
and
too, so
going right to the clerk, you know, that seems like a wise thing to do. I mean, if they can legislate pay raises, I'm sure they can figure out a way to have you not get one. Like, you guys, like, that's where the laws are made, right? Is that right there in the House of Commons? So they should be able to.
Well, if we can't give it back, there's a problem, because I can sign a paper for them to take more tax off if I want more tax off. We're not reinventing the wheel. We put a man on the moon. I'm pretty sure they can take a pay raise and not put it on there if they really want to do it.
Sir, you mentioned the workers, the auto workers, and thank you for that. Can you talk a little bit about what's happening in your constituency? We get emails all the time from people who've been working their whole lives, who now can barely afford rent. They're finding it impossible to pay for their power bills and their housing and their food. Can you describe what it's like for some of your constituents in your riding?
Right now, it's
wonderful choice.
I don't want to say dire, but
I'm rooting for you.
People are having a hard time right now.
We're having a real fucking hard time.
In New Brunswick specifically.
New Brunswick, people are having a hard time. That's the cheapest housing market in fucking Canada.
The cost of groceries. You go to the grocery store, you come out with a bag, and it's close to $200 sometimes, depending on what you're buying.
New Brunswick, it's $200 for groceries.
People are just having a hard time. Price of fuel's up almost $2 a liter in New Brunswick. The cost of living in New Brunswick used to be one of the lowest
Cheapest
costs to
in
live in
Canada.
Canada. Now it's
Now
one
it's
of
the most expensive.
hardest places to live.
That's crazy. Is it government people here?
What
it's
was
cheap
the
there.
response, if you don't mind me asking, from the media on Parliament Hill? I
They're not
heard that you were
fucking
doing
breaking
some
them.
mainstream media interviews. I spent most of my adult life in mainstream media. I'm sure some reporters were pretty interested in the fact that you're
Stand
saying
under
no
20
to
minutes or
this pay
defeat
raise.
stand under 20. I think it's defeat stand
Not
under
really.
25.
No?
Fuck down, bitch.
I had CBC reached out. I think I got an interview maybe tomorrow with them.
Can't get cheese, right? That makes
I think
sense.
City TV was one this afternoon. I did at lunchtime today, around lunchtime. Besides that, you guys reached out.
I don't know why
and
you're stepping in your ass to fart as much as we
I
need some
think it was
healers
pretty
in here.
much, there might have been one or two others that aren't part of the mainstream media that reached out.
Well, I really hope that it picks up again for you because, again, this has been going on now for years.
What the
As you
fuck,
might know, all during the lockdowns, the automatic pay raises went through, and politicians never missed a pay hike through that whole time. And now finally having an MP stand up and say, no, this is enough. It's not right for me to take this, especially with my constituents hurting. It really matters. And I think that's why I'm sorry if you can't use your email box right now on Parliament Hill. Is your staff having a tough time sorting through it?
No.
Yeah, I think I could probably use 3 or 4 more hands in there going through the emails, trying to filter them out. But I got the best staff in the world, so it's one of those things that they're pushing through it. They'll get through it.
Defeat stand within 25 minutes. Yeah, I couldn't get them.
They'll get through it by the next few
Should
days.
have stayed ranged.
By the weekend, we'll have everything logged and put in other files, and then we can get back to the regular emails that come in. And, this whole situation could be resolved. Mark Carney has
do the last one again.
He has the tools to come out and say.
So we're gonna try to go for the poop
The
list.
cost of living right now is outrageous, and people are struggling, and we're supposed to be elbows up and looking out for Canadians. He got the tools there. He can put a freeze on like Harper did back in 2010, 2013. Once again, we're not reinventing the wheel here. If the Liberals really want to help Canadians, they can help Canadians tomorrow if they want.
We're gonna leave the.
Awesome. Anything else that I haven't asked you that you especially would like the working man and woman, the working taxpayers who are watching this right now and they're cheering for you? I gotta say, like your email blew up, ours did too. People are so happy with you. We even got a bumper sticker going. I don't know if they're printed yet. It was "Be like Mike, refuse the hike." So they're really happy to see this. Anything else that you want those working taxpayers to know?
Yeah, I'm not a hero. I seen a thing with us. I seen something with.
Yeah, he's literally being praised as a hero because
I'm
he's
just an ordinary person, a drywaller from New Brunswick that the Liberals said that shouldn't be in Ottawa. I'm just an ordinary dude person like everybody else. I get up before I was a politician. I'm not your career politician. It's just something I fell into, and when I signed up for it, I said I wasn't gonna be a regular politician. I was gonna do things differently, and I would try to represent the people of Miramichi Grand Lake the best way I can. And at the end of the day, I hope that they're happy with the way I'm doing it. Judging by some of the emails across Canada, there's a lot of people that seem to be. So I'll keep doing what I'm doing until I can't do it no more.
Healing powers.
Sir, I've been in the arena for a long time and I've been observing politics for a long time. I can confirm to you, you are not a regular politician. So, thank you so much on behalf of taxpayers across Canada. And thank you so much for standing up for taxpayers and saying no to this pay hike. It really means a lot.
No problem. Thank you.
Have a good week back in your constituency, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
It's kind of tough.
Oh, gee. Did everyone switch to Eric's team? Dark matter? Oh, now that is bullshit.
What is it playing right now?
Kid.
We're good on that. Let's put that away for now.
Watch those eye snipers, new kid. plants don't care about your clothes and just let you play in mud wherever you want. This is beyond bullshit, dude. How did Cartman do this?
Okay.
For a challenge. Here's the deal. No takebacks. The deal is done.
I come bearing dark gifts. This shall be your lot. More power, always good.
Cartman's army is totally covered in dark matter. There's no telling how strong they are. Woo, 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 woo. How dare you oppose the Grand Wizard?
It's not too late to surrender, new kid. You just go home, go enjoy your life without any skis. The Grand Wizard's power is no joke. Take this upgrade. Well, hello there. What do you think?
Trying to roll for Necro.
How do these look?
Necro?
Sure, we can change your fate.
Roll 2 more times.
Here, try these on for size.
Okay.
Ah, yes, a fine upgrade. See ya.
Not like our last chance, or this is our last chance.
Keep going.
Funny meeting you here, new kid. Good to see you, new kid. How about these?
Man, how many times do I have to roll to not
Excellent.
get fucking Necro cheese? What the fuck?
See you around, new kid.
And the next one's gonna be the Necro. Yeah, Main Street. This is where the Necro's pop up.
Hey, we're back at Main Street. Sure feels different without Stan trying to axe murder us.
Ah, shit, he's got necromancers.
We agreed no resurrection powers. Is nothing secret?
You gotta take out those necromancers. New kid, it doesn't have to be like this. Just screw those guys and go home.
Defeat all enemies. What a slap in the face. I get to the Necro, it doesn't roll me the fucking Necro cards, and now I gotta kill all the enemies. One of which is the Necro. Cool, thanks game. I'm like trying to blast cheese the whole round too to see if it like has some type of mechanism where it recognizes, oh, player is does he not only does he have the cheese card, but he's cheese the whole round, so let's give him cheese oriented modification cards, and not at all the case. I get it. Ugh, even Necro. So now my only chance at an achievement is to not kill any of Cartman's stupid snow clones.
Were those necromancers? Maybe this will even the odds. We can do this all day, as long as you've got the toilet paper.
Doesn't roll in the Necro card.
I've had my eye on that one myself.
Wunderbar.
See you next time.
Snipe Eric. Holy fuck, that sucks.
You're no match for the Grand Wizard's forces. Attack my army!
One more chance and still gonna be Necro. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's wild. What the hell is this? Can't use this.
getting close to Eric now. Get ready. There you are, Cartman.
You're doing it again, new kid. You're ruining the game.
You're the one ruining the game, fat ass. After him. Player one, that was close.
Oh, fuck this. Trying to jump and it's not letting me fucking jump. My fucking damage over time or something yet.
You've left me no choice, new kid.
Oh, player one. They almost had you.
The new kid's trying to ruin my snow.
Oh, crap! The adults are corrupted by dark matter, too!
Fucking cry about it, Kyle, you little bitch.
Ouch! Ow! God!
come on. There's gotta be another way out of this.
Fellas, I don't think God would want us fighting around his house like this. Sweet! Player one, you okay now? Worry!
This is as far as you go.
Player one, while you're down there, would you like a juice box?
How the fuck is this guy still alive? Fucking never ending. What time is it?
Well, makes sense. Go forth.
Choose a card at the gate. What? This guy's stuck in the car. I don't want to kill his ice clones. It says not to kill his ice clones. Don't kill this ice clone.
You took on those adults like a champ. Here's an upgrade. Sure, here's a fresh spread. Are these more to your satisfaction? Here, try these on for size.
Fucking necro.
How about these? That looks pretty good. I bid the... That's not good.
Try not to fight when you're fighting Kevin. Yeah, do this one fucking cheese necro every day. I'm kind of over it.